What's poppin', beautiful people? It is your host, Amber Symone, and this is a very special episode. So, in honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I have Miss Anne Buenaobra on the podcast today. So, a little background on Anne. Anne and I met at one of my first corporate jobs ever. And honestly, we had the funnest job.
So fun.
Like, we were just reminiscing over how we kind of miss those days. It was a brand called Cherry, and that's all I'm gonna say for now.
Yes.
But it was
whole
a beauty
other
brand.
episode.
I know. I was telling her that's a whole nother episode. But it was a beauty brand. Anne is a beauty lover, just like I am. Honestly, if not more. And how are you doing today?
Amber, I'm doing so good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to all you cuties.
I love it. Look, already branding you guys.
Yes.
And showed up. Tell us, what are you wearing today before we kick off? Like, what's on the face?
Well, okay. Face is, I keep it light, just a little Rare Beauty eye brightener.
Yes.
The Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter.
We love Charlotte. I have her setting spray on, actually.
So good. Patrick Ta, the blush.
Really?
His blush. I forgot what color I'm wearing.
Are you a fan?
I do.
Okay.
I really, really like it.
I'm like, do we like it? Should we go cop it?
Yes, you should. I love it. And then just some mascara. That's
I
it.
love
Keeping it light.
I
Keeping
know.
it cute.
Keeping it cute. Also, too, like the summer is coming up and I'm like, it is getting hot outside.
Girl.
I was just at the beach with my family this weekend. It was about like 85 and I was like, okay, it's warming up.
Yeah, the sun is sunning.
Look.
Like, for real. Don't forget your sunscreen, by the way.
Yes, the sunscreen queen. I saw a TikTok of yours. Were you at Disneyland?
Yes,
like reapplying?
Yes. Had to be. Everyone was laughing. And I'm like, you will not be laughing when I don't have wrinkles.
Right. You won't be laughing when I'm 60 and still looking like this.
Exactly. So SPF.
Yes, gotta reapply. All right, so kind of diving into a little bit before we go into all of our beauty topics, and I want to get into, what is your cultural background? What is your heritage? I would love to know.
Yes. So I'm Filipina. Shout out to all my Filipinos out there.
Yes.
My parents are both from the Philippines.
Okay.
My mom's from Pangasinan. My dad is from Bicol. They met in Manila, and then they moved over to Chicago right before I was born, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. So were they really young when they met?
They were.
Okay.
Like college.
Okay,
they went to
got
separate colleges and then, met out
Yes.
in the world.
Sweet.
Yeah, really cute.
Aww.
So we've been here. They've been here since pretty much my birth. In 1992. 92 babies, what's good? So yeah, Filipino American all the way.
I love it. What is like one of your favorite things from your culture that whether that's food, values, fashion, language, really whatever it may be?
Oh my gosh, I love so many things about my culture. I think my favorite is definitely how intertwined everybody is, right? Like everyone in your family is involved with each other. There can be times where it's like, oh my God, it's too much.
Yes. It's
But
always a family reunion.
Yes, exactly. And everyone knows a little too much about everything. The other side of that coin is gossip culture, chismes. However, I think when you learn how to build boundaries for yourself.
Yes.
That intertwining of your family and your family's lives with each other can feel really close. Just as long as you have, good, healthy boundaries, which is, I think, is the key to any kind of relationship.
Of course. So have you ever been to the Philippines? Do you travel there frequently? I guess, what does that look like coming from a large family? Are a lot of your family members here or are they in the Philippines?
So I used to go to the Philippines all the time. We would go every other year and stay for a month.
Oh, wow.
Because all of my family is actually there.
Got it.
My mom has 9 brothers and sisters. They're 9 altogether.
Oh my goodness.
And they're
large
all
family.
Large. They're all in the Philippines except for one of her brothers who's here.
it.
So I have one set of cousins here.
Okay.
And then my dad, he has 7, I think, brothers and sisters, and they're all in the Philippines except him.
Got it.
So all our family is there, but I still have a lot of extended family here it's really crazy. And actually, this is another thing I love about being Filipino is community is so important. So even though direct family wasn't here in the US with my parents, they built a community out of, you know, other immigrants like them from their same small towns, so that we had a support system, even if your direct family wasn't there. So I still have, I'll call them cousins, but we're not cousins.
You know what? Look, Ann, next time you call somebody a cousin, I'm about to be like, Ann, is that really your cousin?
I know. No, for real. At my brother's wedding, my brother's friend was like, you have so many cousins. And my brother's like, they're actually not my cousins. And we're more like village relatives because everyone's just from the same village.
Of course. And still, like, building that community is important, especially when you come here with like little family and trying to really expand your roots and get to know other people. You can find community anewhere. Yeah. Like, we found a community at Cherry. Yes, like, when I tell you it was small but mighty, we're the only ones who really experienced Cherry and what that looked like.
If you know, you know. Hello to all our Cherry fam out there.
I know. Did they have a name? Did we used to call them something?
I think we called it Cherry fam.
Cherry fam? Oh, Lord.
I swear that's what we said.
Not hashtag Cherry fam.
Or like cherries, cherubs. I don't know.
That would have been cute. That would have been cute. That would have been cute. I love it. So, Anne, like, within your culture as well, I remember one time we went to, I think it was like a purple yam. I talked about this in one of my episodes, but we went together to get ube. Is that also a Filipino dessert?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
I think we were getting like boba or something.
Yes. And that was my first time having it. And I'm like, it was so freaking good. Delicious.
Ube, yes. Which is the purple sweet potato, not to be confused with taro, which is a lighter purple. Ube is just like that deeper flavor. It is so good.
Yeah. I'm like, I see it at Trader Joe's now. I'm like, oh, Lord.
Yes, it's a whole thing. They have like cookies, pretzels.
Not the ube being gentrified.
No, it is. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have a couple of boxes at home.
No, I know. I was like, I gotta try this.
I'm like, I'll buy it.
I love it. Even outside of that, so we talked about beauty a little bit, but Anne, guys, like I mentioned, she is the beauty queen. Like, not only does she do this full time, but she does it in her spare time as well. Yes. So what are some of your favorite like Asian beauty brands that you have used?
I actually love, and a lot of my favorite beauty products are API founded and owned. So I love Tower 28. That's like one of my tops.
I know. You might as well be like the face of Tower 28.
I've always been a stan because it is made for eczema, prone skin. All of their products are certified by the National Eczema Board. And so I just love everything to do because I trust it. I know I'm not going to like flare up or anything. I also love, like I mentioned earlier, Patrick Ta stuff. Yes. So good. This brand Euphoria is really good.
I love
too.
Euphoria.
Yeah,
they have
so
like
cute.
It looks like a gloss, but it's a blush.
It's a blush.
And it changes with your skin tone.
Build your own blush, bring your own blush, something like that. It's like BYO.
Yes. And it's like green inside of the tube, and you like put it on your cheeks, and it like, it's amazing.
They actually have this like terracotta colored blush that I love for contour. So it kind of is like this reddish brown color, but for me, it's like the perfect contour because I think sometimes the really great shades.
It's hard to find a good contour. I'm like, what? It's too dark. It's too light.
Yeah, and especially when you still want to glow. Like I don't want to look too like sculpted. I still want that glow. So that reddish brown color is really nice. Tip for anyone with tan skin, you know, try out a reddish brown blush as your contour.
Yeah, I'm like, all these brands, I think Tower 28, are they based in LA?
Yes, they're based in LA.
So Tower 28 is in LA. All of it is very accessible. But I just saw one of your friends brought you back something from Korea.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right? It was like perfume. It was perfume. So let's get into the scents. What kind of perfume is this? And I know you mentioned this is like the next it brand. So tell us a little bit more.
Oh my God. Okay, so the brand is called Born to Stand Out. They're based in Seoul, South Korea, and they actually work with some really top tier perfumers like Olivier Cresp. Sorry if I said his name wrong.
Girl, I'd be like, excuse me.
Right. But it's just like so niche and so unique. The scent that I got is called Burnt Roses. And the way they described it was literally like, you know, like past lovers stomping on your heart. And I was like, oof.
Yes.
Not that I'm living that, but there was something appealing about that.
Of course.
And, you know, I think it's just such a cool brand. I love perfume. And it's just so fun to see how people like mix these stories together so that you can wear it. I mean, it's the same thing in all facets of beauty. It's like wearing your own story, right? So Born to Stand Out.
Y'all heard it first.
Yes.
I'm like, you heard it first on the Keep It Cute podcast. Okay, Ann, thank you for putting us on to a new scent. But you mentioned something earlier, and I really want to take a deeper dive into eczema. So as I mentioned, y'all, I'm currently having an eczema flare up. I think Ann mentioned she's struggling a little bit, not even struggling, because she was just talking about embracing her eczema.
Yes.
So what has your eczema journey been like, and where are you now?
So when I was younger, high school, I had eczema often and I hated it. It made me feel like othered. It made me feel like an outcast. I never felt beautiful. So I did all these things so that I would be better. Diet, drinking water, all of the ointments, all of the natural remedies. Everything. And that's actually how I got into beauty, was more of a source of solace, more of a source of healing than, you know, trying to be pretty or whatever. And I finally got it under control, and it was under control for years. Then recently, maybe pandemic, and also I moved to LA from the Bay, so there's that like a little bit of a climate change. Yeah. It started flaring up again. So over the last few years, it's just kind of been like an up and down roller coaster of some days it's inflamed and then it calms down literally the next day, and then 3 days later it's back. And it'll just have seasons on, you know, my arms, on my face. And I told myself, you know, at my big age of 30, I am not hating on myself anymore. I am so tired. And I'm also really tired of feeling like a project that I have to fix, that I have to fix, you know? So I was like, you know what? I will do what I need to do so I feel good, so that it's the irritation calms down, so I'm not itchy, so I'm not in physical pain. But on the looks side of things, on the beauty side of things, I'm always going to know that I'm beautiful, regardless of, you know, how I'm experiencing my eczema.
Yeah, flare up or not.
Exactly. And that let me treat myself in a more empowered manner. I'm not frantically like, oh my God, I need this. Like, what do I need to do? Oh my God. It's, you know, I'm a lot more calm and like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. So I should adjust my makeup routine, or I should do this for my skincare routine, and just kind of making more calm and informed decisions on what I'm using on my skin. But yeah, just living in a lot more acceptance. Because at the end of the day,
it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go. I was going to say that it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So you can, you know, dread the days that you have it and wish for the days that you don't, but that is exhausting.
Yes. And like you mentioned, like it's something that obviously it sticks with us, but you learn how to treat your own skin and figure out what works for you. And also too, y'all, stress induces eczema.
Number one.
Stress will really cause breakouts on your face, arms, like whatever it is. If you have eczema, like for me, I've had eczema since I was like a baby. And I remember my mom used to put me in like oatmeal baths, and then she would put different kind of like the aloe vera plant, rub it on my face. I'm like, what is going on?
Like whole milk?
Girl, we probably did so much stuff. I'm like, and I remember she used peppermint oil or something one time, but it burns so bad.
Like,
no, look, and never, ever again. Like you said, we were frantically trying to find like what works for me. And again, as I get older and we're finding out different remedies, like last night I was on Target. I had placed a hydrocortisone 10 placement. I got the eczema honey eye cream. Which
I love the eczema honey.
It actually has been working for me.
Good.
But the actual one, there's something about the nut in it. And there's is nuts in like the regular eczema honey. They have one without it, but I did try and put that over my eyes. And when I tell you, I was just in there scratching my little eyes.
Oh, that's the worst when you think you put on a treatment, but you're itchier.
Yes. And I'm like, or my eyes are burning. Like, what is going on? So I totally understand. But I love that you said kind of like that acceptance piece of it, because it's just a part of us, and we'll have flare-ups as the weather changes, as we change. But again, trying to come to terms with that, I think is a difficult part. Because even last night, I was like, this eczema on my eyes. I was like, my concealer is about to be creasing. Like, y'all know I love a beat face. Like,
I know. That's the hardest part sometimes when you love beauty. Is that like, you want that.
I just want to be like, you want the under eyeliner, but your eyes are watering.
Oh my gosh, no. Or you put the powder and it just dries up.
Yes, immediately. Yeah. So
but all parts of you are you. And all parts of you are beautiful. Yeah. So it's just an adjustment.
It is. Yeah. It truly is. But I love that we have another eczema baby.
Yes.
I was like, that's for sure one thing I got to bring up on the pod with you, Ann. I was like, our eczema journeys. Because I remember at work, guys, and again, like, not only is she the manifestation queen, the beauty queen, she used to have like different, what little roller balls you
the
put on your wrist.
Essential oils.
Yes.
I have all the sprays. I would have all the supplements and the tea. I'm like, what do y'all need?
No, she really
what
did.
What do y'all need?
And when I tell you one time she was sitting next to me, she like was sniffing her wrist. I said, what is going on over here? I have never
stress
seen
management,
that.
girl.
I know.
I know. Gotta cope. We gotta cope, honestly.
But it's smart though. It's so smart. Like, if we were ever back in the office, like, I would have my diffuser, my little candle warmer.
The diffuser. Oh my gosh.
We would have everything. Okay, so now that we have done kind of our beauty and skincare segment, I still need to get into what are some of your skincare faves, but I will save that for the end. I kind of want to transition into some of the projects you're working on, and also too, like, a few things that you're passionate about. Let us know, Ann.
Ooh. So I am working on the project of me, of course.
Lovely.
Who isn't?
I know. Always working on ourselves.
Always. But I'm definitely investing more in myself as far as being a model, as far as, just putting myself out there as me. And so, just wanting to pour more into my modeling career. I've been able to do that part-time, and it's so much fun. And I really love being there representing for the Filipinas, but also for my eczema girlies.
Yes.
And I love the brands that embrace that with me too. So I want to open up the doors more for that. I have an amazing agency, The Between. And
I love The Between. I be seeing all the photos on Instagram. Like, just really, it's body diversity at its finest, which is something we're seeing more of. But I feel like because people feel like they're having to do it versus like we want to do this.
And
this is what our brand is rooted in.
Like, there's a more of a natural, like, of course you have to do this. This is life kind of angle versus, trying to tick boxes or whatever it might be.
Definitely.
So I think when I think about what it means to work on that, a big part of it is just opening up your doors of confidence, right? Feeling like you can be in these big campaigns no matter who you are or what you're going through. So that's what I'm working on.
That's amazing. And y'all, Ann is being very humble, but sis has modeled for Nike, Soul Body, Chrissy Teigen's brand, and I'm sure there's so many more. Have a lot of those opportunities, has it been the Between agency helping you land those? Or do you feel like it's been like a networking thing in LA?
Yeah, I think it's a good mix of both. Living in LA, we're so lucky because all of this creative energy just flows through. It's everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
You really don't know who you're going to meet or bump. I mean, we were desk mates and now I'm doing your podcast, So you just don't know what people are working on and how people, are receiving you. And so it's always just good, to be yourself. Definitely. I would say all of my opportunities come from just me being me. My agency helps me sell that, but I think, people see you for who you are. Social media is such a powerful tool for representing yourself and building relationships. Like, thank God I moved to LA.
You're like, my life changed.
Yeah, I think that changed my life a lot. Just making genuine friendships and those people, following up.
Definitely.
And if everything feels so kismet, I get it now when, creative people are just like, just follow yourself, follow your heart, do what you want to do. I used to think like, oh my gosh, how do you do that?
I know it sounds very unstable.
Yes, it totally does. But once you start and you know what it feels like, it makes sense.
Definitely. And like you talked about too, kind of doing it for yourself and obviously being your most authentic self, and those opportunities will come. That's something that I've been like, so like, this is written down in my notes. Every time I do something, and it's as long as you stay true to yourself, those doors will open for you. And that's something I keep repeating. Like, don't try and change yourself for an opportunity, for a company, for a person, nobody. Because all of those opportunities that were meant for you, like they'll come naturally.
Will never pass you.
Seriously.
Will never pass you. And alignment is your biggest power. Is just being aligned with who you are and everything else following suit.
Definitely. Girl, I agree. Because even outside of it too, it's like making sure that you have those things in place for yourself. So you talked about you want to do more modeling, and obviously like you're amazing at it. Like y'all, in the next a couple months or a year or so, I'm about to be like, I had Anne on the podcast in the early days. I'm like, don't forget about the little people. Like,
you'll be up there with me, girl.
Look, I'll be interviewing you like, do you remember when we were sitting on my couch?
We'll be on a couch, and next thing you know, we're going to be in a studio
in
New York. I don't even know.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's like that manifestation piece too. I remember you used to always talk about like the things you wanted for yourself and like making them happen. So I guess like, how do you manifest today?
Yes.
So I remember we used to always talk about that.
Yes. Okay. So I know people love talking about manifesting. I do too. My friends joke and we'll call it like manifesting. Like put the extra N for me. And the way that I do it now is I don't put pressure into it. I don't see manifesting as this duty or this thing that I have to do Monday night so that everything happens, or this thing that I have to do when the full moon is like this. So everything happens. I mean, if you feel so inclined, please do.
By all means.
By all means. Sometimes I like to do a little ritual as well because it feels good. But I think when I'm manifesting, the power or why I think everything happens is because I just have so much fun daydreaming. Like I'll really be like, oh my gosh, how fun would it be to go to New York Fashion Week? And then boom.
And now she's at New York Fashion Week. Like what?
Or things like that. Like how fun would it be to just go to amazing beauty events and just meet cool people? Like I wonder what that's like. And then just being open to it. I think not putting pressure on yourself to try to achieve or try to make things happen, letting things flow is just really the best way to manifest, or how I've always done it is just, I really will just think about it. I'll literally just think, I'm like, that would be so fun to do. And then I'm doing it. And I try to catch myself when I'm thinking about those things if I have any doubt. And when I have doubt, I try to ask myself like, okay, what is scary about this? Like, why isn't it sounding 100% fun? What is this little seed of doubt that I might need to address? And just getting yourself to a spot where when you think of it, you don't feel scared. You don't feel unsure. You just feel like it would be so fun to do if that ever happened.
Exactly. Yeah. When you do put those pressures, it's like, okay, I done made my list. And if I don't hit my list, now you're beating yourself up by the end of the year. Like eventually, like I said, if you stay true to the things you enjoy, you do the things that you enjoy. Because even for you, Anne, it's like you talked a little about alignment, but it's like you're interested in like beauty and want to do these fashion events and beauty events. But also too, it's like even in your corporate life, it's like you work in beauty, at least to some extent. And so just making sure that, okay, I'm doing the things that will get me to that next level, So
you're 100% right. Aligning yourself with what you want to do and what you're dreaming of is such a great place to start. Sometimes if I'm thinking about like a big goal that I want to manifest or a big dream that I have, and it might feel really daunting to be like, oh, I want to be the CEO. You could think about the steps to get there, or my favorite way actually is embodying the feeling of those things, right? So if I'm like, I want to do a cover of a magazine one day, and maybe I have a little bit of doubt because I don't know what that looks like to get there. I can have fun dreaming about it, and I could think about like, if I was there, what would it feel like? I would feel so free, and I would feel so accomplished, and I would feel so celebrated. And then just holding on to that feeling as it is, like right now. And that's honestly, that's like the speedway to your dreams. That is just the speedway, is holding on to those feelings that you think you'd have if those things were already happening.
No, that's valid. I think too, like people get so far out. You mentioned I want to be CEO, but we've skipped every single step on how we're actually going to get there. I'm such a big advocate of crawl before you walk.
Yes, girl.
And like obviously like learning and like taking in smaller things bit by bit, even those experiences, like figuring out how is this actually going to happen for me versus finding the quickest path to it. Because that is like a path. Unfortunately, I don't want to say to failure, but it's like, what did you have to do to get there so quickly, you know?
Yeah, because a lot of these things, you know, you do have to compile skills. You do have to crawl before you walk. So you could also, when you get to what you want, you can keep it. Because if you shortcut all the way to the top, you might not be able to handle it, honestly.
I know. Girl, I'm like, that's why crawl before you walk. That's why I'm like, Anne, thank you for being on the Keep It Cute podcast. I'm like, it's been almost 5 months now that I've been doing this every single week. So you've been staying consistent at the things that you do.
Oh, consistency,
making
girl.
Sure like that fire like stays burning. Because I'm not going to lie, like for my beauty content, when the pandemic happened, I noticed it had dropped significantly, like my output. And not only because the lighting was not right, like we had one window and it was not giving what it needed to give. But then too, like that motivation, I think me not doing it for so long, I got a little comfortable not doing it. But then I started saying like, okay, like I'm really itching to do something creative. Like I always talk about amplifying underrepresented voices or even creator voices. And I'm like, what better way to do that than on a podcast?
Exactly.
So, and we can still talk about beauty.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, I always got to sprinkle in.
Always.
I was like, beauty will never be dead for me. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, men who have been listening to the Keep It Cute podcast, but I always got to sprinkle in a little bit of the beauty segments.
And it's part of your identity.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you found an amazing outlet for you where you can be consistent. It is hard to be consistent, girl.
Even the editing,
So
I was like, I know I got a few episodes to edit tonight. Like creating it is great, but I'm gonna need a team one day.
Yeah. You heard that.
Look,
she don't need a team.
I know. It's crazy. And then even now too, Anne, outside of like modeling, are you doing like any other kind of passion projects like for yourself? Like I know you have your bunnies. I know like
bunnies. I love my bunnies.
I'm like, I know there's a lot that's always happening for you, even with fashion. I know we've touched on beauty a lot, but like how is like your fashion projects for you?
Well, I do want to, like on the topic of creating and posting, I definitely want to get back into my creating groove. I haven't really stopped. I still, you know, make videos maybe once or twice a week.
Yes.
But not strategically by any means.
Yeah, you're like, if it's how I feel this week,
what's
like
my
this
camera
outfit?
roll? Yeah. So I definitely want to get back into doing that more strategically. I've been, you know, laying out some of my content plans and what it would mean for me to expand more into the fashion part of things. I would post my little outfits here and there, which are so fun. But the hard part for me was when you get hate. For some reason, when I post beauty videos, they don't get as much weird comments as fashion. People love to comment on other people's bodies.
Girl, is this on? Are you on TikTok?
On TikTok, yeah. I had a cute little outfit of the day. Maybe this is actually a few months ago. And a lot of people were like, love it, love it. And there's, of course, going to be people who hate it.
Yes.
Like,
it's either you're hot or you're cold.
Exactly. But then there was a lot of people who were upset that some of the clothing sizes I was wearing were small and medium. When I said I thrifted the clothes.
Not you being worried about what size I'm wearing.
I'm like, it's on my body.
Yes.
So
yes.
If it stretches, it stretches.
You said we don't get in this time.
Okay.
But
it's
like
covering what needs to be covered.
Yes.
So we're good. As far as I'm concerned, I'm good.
Yes.
But yeah, people were really upset. They're like, you are not a medium. You are an extra large, maybe an extra, extra large. And I'm like, so what if I am? I said in the caption, I thrifted these clothes. And if they fit, they fit. Like, you want me to go back to J. Crew in 1992 and ask for an extra, like, hello?
No.
So yeah, that was the part with some of the, outfit of the day fashion content that I was a little like, but I definitely want to just say whatever to the haters and just keep going.
You have to.
Yeah.
Most times they are sitting there in a dark room with a little fake profile. Even too, like, girl, the comments you really have to learn to be one with the comments and like not let everything like sink into your core.
Yeah.
Because even like posting some of the videos for the podcast, YouTube comments are crazy. Like I will say TikTok is insane.
Yeah.
But I think with YouTube Shorts, they push your content out to anybody. They're like, we don't care who your audience is. And it's a lot of what do they call them? Like Kevin Samuels type men in the comments. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
My YouTube comments is a bunch of men who probably used to follow Kevin Samuels. Just very misogynist, like very fat phobic. And it's just like insane because like you mentioned, commenting on women's bodies. Come on now. Like, especially as a man. Step down.
Just chill. Yeah. But I think what I do love about TikTok is you can foster communities more.
Even as a smaller creator.
Yeah, even as a smaller creator. So people just start loving you for you. And I love that about it. But yeah, I definitely want to pour more into, posting into fashion, posting into beauty consistently, and kind of finding my voice. Yeah. That's a big key is, what's your voice through all of this? And I've just been kind of like, I'll just do whatever because it's not a priority.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a little easier than doing a voiceover or actually talking. Like you mentioned, if you have like your partner in the room and they're cooking or snoring, like it's like I cannot do my voiceover right now.
Right. Like I can't focus.
I know.
Too much.
It is a lot that's going on. But I love to hear that though. Like, and it's so nice to see like certain niches like growing on TikTok and like fashion content, of course. Guys, Anne's fashion content, she finds the cutest pieces. Like what kind of
so random.
You have like this shoe, I don't know if it's yellow, but it like swirls around your
the Camper Cabora shoe.
And I'm like, that is so freaking cute. And next thing you know, I got to add on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so fast. Yeah.
I literally got to add on Instagram.
I love me some fun shoes. I wish I could show you my shoes now, but they're like
so cute,
fuzzy little And whenever people ask me, where do you shop? Literally everywhere and anywhere.
You're like,
sky is the limit.
Yes.
You never know where you'll find something like this dress, this skirt.
It's so beautiful.
Isn't it cute? It's from Miss
And it
Sony.
matches your heart.
Yeah, it matches his heart. But I found it at like a thrift store in Paris.
See, that's one thing I've been looking at too. Like when I go abroad, it's not like, oh, let me hit up Chanel, which you can do those things.
I'll still do it.
But look, I was like, do those things. But the thrift stores really be having some hidden gems.
Girl, there's fire. There's fire.
Yes. Like when I went to Sweden, I went to a thrift store and I got this dress, came back here, went to the movies, and some lady was like, oh my God, your dress is so beautiful. Where'd you get it? And I was like, I felt so bougie. I was like, I'm so sorry. But I was like, I got this in Sweden, and she kind of just looked like, this bitch lying. Like, there's no way. And I was like, I really don't even know what this is. Like, I got it from a thrift store. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Those are my favorite outfit stories, though, where you're literally like, oh yeah, I just found it, in some random store in Dubai.
Look. And they're like, sis, what?
Like, okay. I'm like, no, but I did.
No, I know. They're like, stop lying.
That's my favorite. Sorry, 101.
Yes. You really do find the cutest pieces.
Thank you.
So I guess in LA, what is like one of your favorite thrift stores that you go to in LA? Do you have one?
Ooh, okay. So I used to frequent St. Vincent de Paul a lot because they just get a lot of like truly vintage things, right? Like 80s, 90s.
Where, like, what part of LA is that in?
I don't know the area, but it's like, where downtown is, and then if you're going
kind of like downtown LA-ish?
But like going north as if you're going to like Atwater Village.
Okay.
That area.
Okay.
I forget what that area is called.
Well,
Sorry,
just know, y'all, it's in LA. Yeah. Hands like, actually, never mind, I just moved here.
3 years ago, but 1.5 is pandemic. So.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
But I actually love estate sales. Estate sales in LA are where
been looking
it's
for
at,
furniture.
Estatesales.net. Every weekend, I just look. I don't go every weekend, but I'll always just look every Saturday morning. Just see what's cute, what's popping. And I have gotten some of my cutest clothing, furniture, art at these estate sales, especially the ones in like Brentwood.
Yes.
You know, in Beverly Hills, girl. Like there's some really, really fun ones out there.
So how is an estate sale set up? Is it like someone selling their house and they're just like, we're selling everything in the house?
Yeah.
I guess how does that work?
So it could be a mix. Sometimes it's, people selling their homes, you know, retired folks who are moving out into smaller condos or whatever it might be. Some of the estate sales are post-mortem. So it really just depends, but it's usually the entire estate. So you'll see the home almost as is, but there'll be like a lot more stuff everywhere. I went to one a few months ago and it was in Brentwood, and it was the house of a designer. He's a shoe designer or clothing designer. It's like Charles Schwartz, I think. But the home was packed with clothing, like, because he had a wife and some kids, some daughters. So it was just all of these like amazing designer clothings. And I think one or two of the daughters, I don't know, did ballet. So there's like all these really cute ballet core clothing. I was like, oh, so fun, so timely.
Did you get you some?
I did. I got me a cute little pink
skirt. I got a little tutu.
Yeah, I did get a skirt. So so that's usually how it's set up. And it will truly, how good it is depends on who lived there. But it's such a hot spot for furniture too.
Yes.
So good for furniture.
I've been looking. So like, as you can see, like this is my living room.
Yes.
But like also too, like this is a solid little setup. Like it's comfortable. I want it to be like intimate, but I'm looking to put 2 chairs in my office for like a little studio setup. But I've been looking for like the perfect chairs. But I do want something kind of vintage. And girl, the chairs are expensive. Furniture is expensive.
Furniture is so expensive.
Like, it's disgusting. When we bought this couch, I was like, okay, nothing else for the next few months. But.
No, it's literally that. My apartment is like 75, if not 80% secondhand. And it's either from the thrift store or Facebook Marketplace. Because
I love Facebook.
Yes.
Got this table from Facebook
Honestly,
Marketplace.
There's so many gems. I actually got a lot of things from vintage resellers, but now they're pretty pricey.
Got it.
But even still, like my couch is vintage. I think it's from the 90s, and I still paid
so cute,
like $1,200 for it.
Yeah,
but it's so cute.
I know it is very cute. It is really cute. It's unique. Every time I see like the seashell kind of aesthetic, I'm like, I always think about you.
Aww. My little pink palace, the bunny palace.
Like your apartment is something that should be in like, I don't know if it's Architecture Digest, whatever it's called. But even like when they have like those videos of like the coolest apartments, because you really like thought about every single piece that is in your apartment.
Yeah. That's actually how I gained most of my following on TikTok is from my apartment.
Girl.
And so I have to sprinkle that apartment.
More apartment videos.
But I paused for a long time because I was like, I am broke.
No.
I spent so much on this place. I need to recoup. Okay. Like I can't.
Look, just repurpose the content.
I know, But now I'm starting to do that. I'm doing a little bit more DIY.
Cute.
Doing some renter friendly adjustments.
Yes.
And actually one thing that I'm doing a lot more of and trying to film more content around is organization and reorganizing.
I saw one of your videos.
Yeah.
You have like this stand at the front
shelf.
of you. Yes. I need one of those.
Yes.
You gotta find where to put all the little things, you know?
Yeah. And staging makes such a difference, but you also need things to be functional. And I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And at these estate sales,
I just be like, pretty.
Yes. You're like, wait, now where do I put this?
I know. So,
all right, guys. Thank you for joining us on all those conversations from culture to beauty, fashion, and so much more. I want to jump into an end segment just to get to know Anne a little bit better. And also, we all want to know some of her favorite beauty faves. So, question number 1 for you, Anne. What does your skincare routine look like? I know it might be extensive and I know it changes over time, but what does it look like right now?
You're right. It's extensive. Yes. And it low-key changes every day. But
depending how you feel, how the weather is.
Exactly. But I have been loving my Ranavat trio. So the brand is called Ranavat. It's a South Asian brand based in Ayurvedic practices. They have this brightening saffron serum that I love.
Ooh, that sounds
follow
lovely.
it up. Yes. I followed up with their moisturizer and then their treatment. It's like a treatment balm.
Oh, that's
really
cool.
fabulous. I also love things from the brand Ourself and Stratia. So typically morning and night, I do a cleanser, just a creamy cleanser because, we sensitive skin girlies.
Yes. I'm on my CeraVe tip right now.
Okay. And I'll always tone with a toning water, a hydrating water, love rose water. Then I usually do 2 serums, a hyaluronic acid.
Yes.
And then if I need something to treat, like a vitamin C or maybe something for dark spots, just depends. And then I'll do a lightweight moisturizer, and then I'll do a heavy moisturizer.
Girl.
So,
looking like a nice little donut before you go to sleep.
Always. And I actually just got this Medicube device. It helps boost the efficacy of your products. And it looks like a wand, and you just swipe it over your skin for 5 minutes. And I genuinely do that every morning and every night.
Does the wand, is this like one of those wands where you can put in the freezer or fridge?
No. So the premise of it is that it has these electric pulses, and it's supposed to kind of push the serum in your skin.
Oh, wow.
So it feels kind of like this buzzy feeling, but not vibrating. I don't know how to describe it. It's more of like a shock. Yeah.
Girl, and then you wake up just looking like Princess Diana.
Exactly.
Skin on point. So we talked a little bit as well about New York Fashion Week. I feel like we skimmed over that, but when we were talking about manifesting, obviously there are so many girls and guys who are so dying to go to New York Fashion Week. So tell us one of your favorite things about when you were at New York Fashion Week.
Yeah. So I'm so grateful that I've been able to go because I definitely had full circle moments from, being in high school and college, just wanting to go. And I'm very grateful that I was able to get invited and make my way over. My favorite part, at least of the last fashion week, was one, of course, going to shows with our friend and my boo, Chaz.
Yes, shout out Chaz.
Shout out to Chaz. Always so fun. My partner in crime. But I also love dressing for shows. There's kind of an unspoken rule that, if you're not going in your personal uniform, you try to wear, what the brand embodies.
Yes.
At least I like to do that.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to Kalina Strada. Let me do a whimsical pink moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And now they're going to add it to their collection. And you're like,
Oh,
is there
girl.
something? You said these are dreams. These are dreams.
Next time, maybe. You never know.
Yes.
But and so I have a really fun time just dressing. And I also love seeing people at shows. Lots of people that maybe I only see on the internet or on email and being like, oh, wait. So, yeah.
I love that, girl. I'm like, New York Have you done Paris Fashion Week?
Yes. I did
That's
Paris.
what we should have been talking about.
That was a true full circle moment because I used to live in Paris, remember?
Yes.
And I was that girl when I lived in Paris. I was that girl who would find the shows and stand out front to see who was walking out. So to be able to go, I was just like, wow. That was crazy for me. 2012 Anne would be, gagged.
Seriously. I always say your younger self would be so proud of where you are now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dying to be where you are now.
Literally.
But it's happening real time.
Yes.
Yeah. And so going into more beauty brands, what are some of your favorite Filipinx beauty brands that you've tried or even want to try?
Yes. Okay. I love the brand Multi. Right now, they have these very, very cute pimple patches and they have a little smiley face. They have a little smiley face. So I love to wear them even just for fun. And then I love the brand Sunny's Face. They have some amazing lipsticks and lip glosses. Their signature one is called Fluff Mate, and it's literally the perfect blurry kind of matte lip. So cute.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And then one that I really want to try that I see all the time because I follow this account, it's called Filipinta Beauty. And they make the cutest, kitschiest, nostalgic packaging. Like they have a lip gloss that looks like banana ketchup, which is a condiment. In the Philippines, they have one that looks like lumpia.
Aww.
Some shadow palettes that look like choco nut, which is like this chocolate that we eat back home. So it just like does something for me to see that kind of nostalgia, but in an actual beauty product. So I haven't tried it yet, but I would love to.
That's
so
adorable. Well, you heard it here first. Go to get in some of those beauty products ASAP. She'll put it on the TikTok.
Yes, got you.
And then lastly, do you still follow any beauty traditions from the Philippines that maybe your parents have passed down to you? Like, what does that look like?
Ooh, I love this question. So I would say, well, okay, on one hand, I wish I had more knowledge about traditional Filipino beauty. I think that's something that I'm learning more about and discovering more about. You know, I've gone to the Philippines many times, but ultimately I grew up in America and I live here. So everything that I know about beauty in the Philippines,
it's rooted in America.
It's rooted in like Western or like Eastern Asian kind of standards. You know, like I remember growing up, every time I go to the Philippines, everyone being really obsessed with papaya soap and like scrubbing me down because it's supposed to whiten your skin. So, but I don't know if that's really the case these days. I sometimes end up on like Filipino TikTok, like people in the Philippines creating content. And I love it because I'm like, I feel like I'm learning, you know, more about what's happening back home.
Definitely.
And they seem to really have their own thing going on too. But I'm so open and want to definitely learn more. Things that I still do though, that my parents have taught me. So my dad lived by the sea. And he would always talk about like, oh, I had to literally like farm my own food, make this, make that, you know, very much a farm boy.
Yes.
Or ocean boy, fish for his own fish, all that good stuff. So he would, you know, he knew how to make like coconut oil, how to press it or how to cook it down and like just make everything out of the coconut, which we love in the Philippines. And so when I would grow up or when I was growing up and we would go back home, my dad always made coconut oil and I would like put it on my body because, you know, eczema girlies.
Luxurious.
Yes. And now it's like a thing to just buy coconut oil. Even at Sephora, like Kopari sells coconut oil. And it's made in the Philippines, by the way.
Okay.
Last time I saw. I haven't seen it or checked in a while, but I remember buying it for $18 and being like, this is made in the Philippines.
Wow. You're like, Dad.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So rubbing yourself down with coconut oil, I will do until the day I die.
Yes, yes.
And also, when I would go home to the Philippines, my dad and his brother, because his brother has eczema psoriasis too, they would always dig holes for us to just lay in the sand and like soak up the minerals and, you know, antibacterial properties of salt, all that good stuff. So whenever I go to the beach, not any of the ones here in LA.
Definitely, guys. You will be rubbing asphalt or something on your skin. Don't do it.
No, a nice, cute little tropical beach.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I will, you know, I always like to exfoliate, rub the sand in.
That sounds
you know.
so nice.
Yeah, so those are just a couple of things that I still do.
That's so lovely. Yeah. And it's like those traditions like you'll pass on to your kids and they'll do it to their next generation and so forth. Especially like keeping, I don't know, especially like in your culture, it's like you mentioned the coconut oil thing and how people are literally selling them in stores. But it's like this is a tradition that you've done at home. So
yes.
I don't know. It's important to keep those cultural aspects from home and push them down to further generations.
100%.
Yes. Well, Anne, thank you so much for joining the Keep It Cute podcast.
I feel cute.
Oh, you look cute. I'm like in the all pink today. You look very cute. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around. We are almost pushing to 20. Yes.
Oh,
but
congrats.
This month, guys, we are celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Please take note of everything Anne has mentioned. I will try and tag as many things in the caption as possible. But Anne, thank you for bringing a piece of your culture to the Keep It Cute podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me and being so open to all of this information.
I was like, there is no one better. Like immediately, I was was like, oh my God, Anne, please do it.
I'm so glad it worked out.
Yes,
Always so fun to talk to you too.
Love you, girl.
Love you.
All right, guys. Catch me next Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. Don't forget to follow at Keep It Cute Pod on all socials. Love you. Bye.